Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review. And today we're taking a look at the brand new NECA Mirage Comics Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Wanderer. And when this guy was first announced, I didn't know anything about this version of a Ninja Turtle. I didn't know what this came from. Obviously, I knew it was from the Mirage Comics because that's the way it was promoted, and then the artwork on the box and, all that type of stuff. But as far as like the specifics, I had no idea what issue this was from. I didn't know what the situation was. I didn't know anything. And that was exciting to me because then it inspired me to go do some research and read some more Ninja Turtle comics. And I'm currently reading the Mirage stuff, but I jumped to this issue, which is issue 17. So this look comes from Mirage Comics, Ninja Turtles, Volume 1, issue 17. I don't want to straight up spoil the book or anything, but a lot of people are calling this guy Mikey the Wanderer, and it's not necessarily Mikey. So yeah, go check out the book. It's a very fun read. It's quick. This little story is one issue, and I had a lot of fun checking it out. So once again, Mirage Comics, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Volume 1, number 17. Go check it out and come back and let me know what you guys think of it. But with that said, after reading the issue, I got even more excited about this figure because it's pretty damn awesome. But what's funny is that in that issue, for most of the time, he doesn't really look like this. He has like another outfit. He gets in a fight. It gets kind of ripped up. And then on the other side of that fight, he looks like this for the rest of the book. And yeah, so it's funny that NECA made a figure based on a look that was in a comic for like 4 pages or something. Maybe a little bit longer, but yeah, it's kind of crazy how deep they get with it. But yeah, I'm very excited about this figure, so let's go ahead and get right into it, starting off with the packaging. Through the window, you are able to see the figure itself. You can see the accessories that it comes with. Down up front, we get some really cool looking artwork. That's always awesome. Same thing on the side. Check them out. Boom. Looking really good. And then on the back, we get a look at the figure in a couple of different poses. And then down here, some more characters that we're going to see pretty soon. On the opposite side, we get some more artwork. And once again, that's looking pretty badass. I love that. And yeah, this is an awesome looking packaging for an awesome looking figure. But enough about the box. Let's go ahead and get the Wanderer out and take a look. So right out of the box, the Wanderer is looking pretty freaking awesome. Check him out. Look at this. I love this design, man. It's such a cool look for a Ninja Turtle. And as always, NECA did an incredible job of just bringing it to life right out of the comic book pages, Look at that. Yeah, this guy came out really dope. He does feel very familiar because the parts are very similar to the 4-pack Ninja Turtles, but they're not like exactly the same because the Wanderer does have additional details, like his arms have these wraps, his lower legs have these wraps, and as you can see, the arms and legs look and seem very, similar to each other, but the Wanderer does have these additional details, which is really nice. And then even on like this arm for Raph that has the wraps, like the wraps are different on the two figures. They could have just reused that arm straight up, but they added this additional detail to it to make it feel different. So that is cool. I'm so happy that they used the 4-pack turtles as a base body for this guy because these turtles were some of my favorite Ninja Turtle action figures ever made. These things are awesome. I just love like the bulk that they have. They just look so strong and they have a strong presence and they're just really cool. So I'm happy that they reused the parts from the 4-pack for this figure. Or not, I don't even know if it's like straight up reusing the parts, but they use the same kind of tone and feel, and the same aesthetic. So I really like that they did that. I think it turned out really cool. But yeah, check out the Wanderer. Such a dope looking figure. And as usual, NECA did a great job with the details on this figure. I feel like NECA is like the master when it comes to using these little effects to make their figures feel like they're from a certain thing, Whether it's the two-tone effect to make them feel like they're animated or the hash marks to make them feel like they've jumped right out of the comic book pages. I think they always do a great job with it. And yeah, when it comes to Michelangelo the Wanderer, I think they killed it. Starting with the head sculpt, I love that we finally have an unmasked turtle head sculpt, and I think they did a really great job with it. I love the angry facial expression that he has going on. We could see the teeth, the bright white eyes, and I love like all the little lines that he has everywhere. It really gives him like an aged, look. And that's awesome to get from a Ninja Turtle because usually the turtles are very young, so it's cool to get like an old, weathered, grizzled version of a Ninja Turtle. And look at that. That face sculpt just captures that whole feeling perfectly. So they did a good job with that. And the color is mostly dark green, but if you lift up the head, you can see that he has a little bit of light green in the chin here. And it goes from light green to dark green very smoothly. The transition is very nice. But yeah, that is awesome stuff. And then moving down to the torso here, as you can see, he does have this shirt. And this looks nice. It kind of looks like it's a burlap sack or something, you know. Look at the texture there. That is really dope. And then it does have like the straps kind of, I guess you could say kind of like sculpted into the shirt. I don't know. I don't really know how to describe that perfectly, but you know what I mean. They're not like a separate piece. Same thing with the belt. And at first, I was kind of upset by that, but you know, now that I have the figure in hand and stuff, I really don't mind it. I'm okay with how this turned out. It would have been cool if it was a little thicker, but as it is, I'm fine with it. I think it looks good. And then check out the wraps on the arms, and then we have a little bit more light green on the shoulders. It looks really good. And we have a lot of those effect lines throughout the figure. Some more light green on the legs, on the knees, wraps on the lower legs. So yeah, a lot of little subtle details everywhere, and it just looks really, really nice. And then on the back we do have the sword sheaths, and that has some really good paint work too, you know. Check that out. And the sword's going there with no problem at all. Yeah, look at the detail on there. That is crazy. So really good stuff on the shirt here. Some really nice texture and paint work. And yeah, the head sculpt is awesome. The different shades of green are nice. The wraps around the arms. Just everything about this figure looks really, really dope. Once again, NECA straight up killed it when it comes to the details, the sculpt, and the paint work. So I love the way this figure looks. And then for accessories, Michelangelo the Wanderer does come with a pretty good amount of stuff, including 3 different sets of hands. So first off, we have a pair of fists. Then we have a set of open hands. Finally, we have a set of gripping hands that could be used to hold on to the weapons that he comes with. Speaking of the weapons, he does come with a good amount of those as well. First off, we have a set of swords or katanas. These look really good. Then he has a pair of nunchucks. And the nunchucks are pretty cool. As you can see, they're held together with a piece of string between the 2 handles. And yeah, that's a cool way to do it. On mine, unfortunately, for some reason, on both sets of nunchucks, one side, the string on one side, on one handle, you know, came out. So I had to re-glue them on both sets of nunchucks. So that kind of sucks. But, you know, it wasn't a big deal. It's just something that's kind of weird to happen on both sets, you know. But still, these nunchucks are cool. He has a really cool looking spear. I like this one a lot. And then finally, he does have a kama. And just like always, these weapons are extremely well done. The paint style matches the figure. They have a lot of detail. They're really well sculpted. And one thing I really love about these weapons is that all the blades are white. That kind of caught my attention. I thought that looked pretty cool. But yeah, he does come with some good stuff. It would have been nice to get maybe like an extra head or something, but I'm pretty happy with the amount of accessories he does come with. I do wish that his sword sheaths were able to come out, because I wanted to put this thing from that Raphael figure onto this guy, but you can't because the back of it just doesn't go down far enough because of the damn sheaths. That sucks. It would have been cool to throw that on there. I think that would have looked awesome. But, you know, it is what it is. You can switch the heads between these 2 figures, though, if you would like, even though the colors won't match whatsoever. It is possible if you want to, like, repaint this unmasked turtle head and throw it on here. I think, oh man, we need some unmasked turtles. That would be cool. Or if you want to have a different version of the Wanderer, you could throw these heads on there, and that looks pretty cool. But yeah, again, the colors don't match whatsoever. But, you know, head swaps are possible if you feel like repainting some stuff. And then now for some size comparisons. Here we have Michelangelo the Wanderer alongside the NECA Mirage Comics 4-pack Raphael and the NECA animated series Donatello. And then here we have him alongside the SH Figure Arts Michelangelo and the Loyal Subjects IDW Leonardo. Dang, I haven't messed with these figures in quite a long time. I forgot how cool they were. But here we have them alongside the NECA Archie Comics Slash and the NECA Mirage Comics Fugitoid. And then here we have them alongside the Fure Toys Spring, aka 5K Leo. On the opposite side, we have the NECA Mirage Comics Splinter. And then next up, we have them alongside the NECA Last Ronin Michelangelo and the NECA Last Ronin Sinja. And then here we have them alongside the Marvel Legends 2-pack Deadpool and the Jada Toy Street Fighter Fei Long. And it's kind of funny seeing the Wanderer next to like regular 6-inch figures. He kind of looks pretty small. Next to 7-inch figures, I kind of expect him to be small. Most of the NECA stuff is like 7-inch scale. So, you know, if a turtle is smaller than like one of the bad guys or whatever, it makes sense to me. But you know, having him next to 6-inch figures and him still kind of looking small is kind of interesting. But I'm okay with it. I'm happy with the turtles being a little on the short side. With these new turtles, I love how they're short but still like buff and powerful looking. I think it works really well for the turtles. And then here we have them alongside the Mezco 112 Collective Lone Roach Gomez and the Mezco 112 Collective Ronin Logan. And I know that these guys are kind of hard to get your hands on, but if you do have them, I think they'd make for pretty good enemies for Michelangelo the Wanderer. And then lastly, here we have them alongside the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap and the Marvel Legends Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. And if you have the 4-pack turtles, then you pretty much already know what to expect out of the articulation on this guy. The only difference that I see is that the Wanderer does get a little bit more movement in the torso because he doesn't have like a full-on turtle shell on the back and on the front, you know. So there's a little bit more room in there for it to move around. But aside from that, the articulation is pretty much identical. And yeah, these guys don't really have a crazy amount of articulation. In my opinion, there's enough there to have some fun with, but nothing that's really going to surprise you. Nothing mind-blowing. I think it's just enough for a Ninja Turtle action figure. So I am happy with it, and I'm definitely having a lot of fun posing this guy around. But let's go ahead and take a look starting off at the head. So his head is able to move side to side. We get some nice tilt out of that as well. There we go. And then he's able to look up to about right there, which is pretty decent. That'll work. Then he could look down to right there. And then he could look left to right. I'm not sure if I said that already, but there you go. So pretty good movement at the neck area. He doesn't have the lower neck movement. It would have been nice to see that in there. I feel like that should come standard on Ninja Turtle figures because, you know, the torso is so limited. But if you threw that neck joint in there, it would add a little bit more, you know, a little bit more potential for the torso overall, you know. But still, pretty good movement at the head. And then for the torso, like I said, he gets a little bit more, so he could crunch forward to about right there, which, you know, that's pretty decent considering that it's all covered. But, you know, it's not a whole lot. Can't really go back too much because he does have his sword sheaths back there, but yeah. And then we get some side to side, which is nice. And then he can also twist on that joint in there. So yeah, pretty good stuff at the torso. Obviously, it's not the best ever, but it's definitely pretty respectable considering that it's completely covered. And then at the arms, he does have ball joints at the shoulders that do go all the way around. Oh, his shirt got in the way just a little bit, but there we go. And then you're able to bring his arms out to the side a pretty good amount. Not a whole lot because he's got big old shoulders. And you can't really get his arms in front of him all that much, you know. So for like those cross-body punches. But you could get him into a dope, you know, boxing pose. That'll work. Yeah, so that's nice. Nice little fighting stance. And then he does have upper bicep swivel. There we go. He has double jointed elbows that bend a pretty good amount. There we go. Look at that. Bam, that'll work. And then at the wrist, he has a swivel and a hinge. And then for the legs, let's see what we have going on. He can kick forward to about right there, which is not too bad at all. He could kick to the side a really nice amount. Bam. There we go. That'll work. Then it goes back a little bit too. He does have upper thigh swivel in there. Double jointed knees. Bam. Pretty good range on them, but he's got big old legs, so it doesn't really bend all that much, but it's decent. And then at the foot, we have rocking ankles. And then you could bring his foot forward to about right there. Maybe more if you wanted to. Let's see. I feel like we could get a little bit more out of that. But oh, there we go. Yeah, if you could get the back of his foot to kind of go over the straps, then, I mean the wraps there, then we get some good range. And then it goes forward to about right there. And then there's no lower leg swivel or anything. And even his little tail has articulation. It's on a small little ball joint, so you could rotate it around, but that's about it. But yeah, like I said, you know, not a crazy amount of articulation, but definitely enough to have fun with. And yeah, I'm having a blast playing around with this figure. Alrighty, so overall, at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, the dust settles, and it's all said and done, surprise, surprise, NECA killed it on a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figure. Man, at this point, it's just amazing how good they have been handling the Ninja Turtle figures for how long, you know? It's been what, like 4 or 5 years that they've been doing turtle figures, and they have been killing it with every single release. Every Ninja Turtle figure from NECA has been amazing. I love the line. I love all the figures. And one thing I love so much about what they do is the fact that no matter how obscure the character is, no matter how obscure the version of the character is, they go all out. They put everything into it, you know? They don't cut any corners or anything like that. Every single one of their figures seems to have like maximum effort put into it, you know? And that is awesome to see. Mikey the Wanderer came out really, really dope. I love the way he looks. It's got a great design and really well sculpted, a lot of great detail, some nice paint work, some decent articulation. I guess that's one area where they could kind of improve, but when it comes to turtles, I don't really expect a whole lot of articulation, you know? I just want enough to have fun with, and I think that he has that, so I'm happy with it. The accessories are really nice too. It would have been cool if he came with another head or something like that, just to have a different facial expression, but I love the fact that we finally have an unmasked turtle head from NECA. That's really cool. They need to release that for like one of their regular turtle sets. That would be awesome. But yeah, man, this thing came out so dope. And I just hope that they continue to like do these really obscure versions of the turtles so that it could inspire people to go read some more of the comics like it did for me, you know? I've been reading the Mirage comics lately and they're awesome, but I hadn't read this issue yet, you know? And when I saw this figure, I was like, man, I might as well jump ahead and read it. And I'm so glad I did because it was a cool little story and, you know, it's just fun stuff. So I really hope that NECA continues to give us these obscure things. And hopefully, you know, it kind of pushes people to go check out comics. Not just turtles, just other stuff, you know. I hope all companies do obscure characters and do a good job with them so we can inspire people to go read comics more, you know. But yeah, man, this guy came out amazing. I'm really happy with what we have going on here. And I think it's a great figure. So be sure to grab it while you can. And with that, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to hit the bell notification so you know every time that I go live. Thank you very much. Peace.